Hey, everybody. Welcome to Technically Unraveled. I'm Kristen Fehrenbach, the Senior Director of our Microsoft Go-to-Market team here at Pax8. Thanks for joining again this week. We are going to have Brittan on in just a bit, but we want to go through some updates. Before we dive into those, make sure that you are sharing, liking, subscribing to this channel. You don't want to miss any of these updates from Technically Unraveled. I'm going to have to unravel just technically. Oh my gosh. You want to make sure that you're here every week for this, but also make sure you're checking out the game with Dom and Matt. They have so much great content. So let's dive right into those updates. First and foremost, I want to go through hands-on labs. We still have a lot of sessions that are available. So you can scan the QR code. I think it's down below. There's a little link, all of that good stuff. Make sure you're signing up. They're free to you as a partner. So we have such great feedback that's coming in about these. So these are Americas and Canada. We are hoping to expand these globally in the future, but want to make sure that you know Americas, Canada right now, sign up. We have a lot of great stuff for you. Want to make sure that you are getting all of the benefits of that. Next, there's a new Academy course. It's getting a lot of traction. So if you've not signed up for this yet, it is so good. I want to give a big shout out to that team. It is Azure Consumption Abuse. So I know we talked a little bit about everything going on with Microsoft. There was some Azure concerns. Please go through this course. It's going to go through how are you minimizing your risk, and it's just going to make sure that you're secure. So go to Academy. You are going to have to log in when you click on that link. So if you don't have that, make sure that you work with your account team. We'll get you all logged in. That way you can make sure that you're going through and getting all the benefits from our Academy team. If you didn't check out the last show with Chris Kaiser, please make sure you do that because we go through all of the Academy content that's available. But that Azure new course, top notch. Please make sure you're checking that out. So this one is a little bit longer, so I want to make sure I get it right on behalf of Ashley Moretti and our Microsoft Programs team. So any new customers purchasing Azure RIs or saving plans, you're going to start using the self-service model here soon. So you're going to be purchasing Azure plan through Pax8. You're going to manage your customers' RIs and savings plans through the Azure portal. If you have any questions on that, like I said, your account team, your infrastructure sales consultants, they are going to be able to guide you through this. So don't worry, but just want to make sure that you know this is going to self-service. Lastly, MCA attestation. So you've got Microsoft will be sending emails to new end customers of Pax8. So they're going to be notifying them. We just want you to know this is going to start happening. If you have any questions, please reach out. But this notification is going to start here on the 15th, coming up soon. So I want to go ahead and get going with Brittan because we've got a lot of content to cover. You might have met her before, but I want to welcome Brittan back. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Kristen. I'm having a little trouble.
Oh,
Not
no.
yet.
It wouldn't be a live show if everything went smooth all the time. I think we're working on it. Give us 1 second.
I've got you. How are you?
Awesome. Thanks for joining, Brittan. Thanks, Rob, for getting us all worked out on the back end. Brittan, thanks for jumping on. Tell us a little bit about yourself and all of that good stuff if they've not met you before.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to be joining you again. I'm Brittan Trembley Benton. I am the Go-to-Market Solutions Director for Microsoft's Modern Workplace and Microsoft Security. I'm excited to talk today.
Man, I think this is maybe your second or third time on the show. So thanks for just continuing to come back for more because I feel like there's just so much that happens in modern work. We talk about TSI, we talk about security with you. So thank you for coming back time and time again because we want to talk about Pax8 security assessments and everything that's been changing, right?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we know that cyber threats never sleep. So, there's always evolution in cybersecurity, and I'm happy to be here to talk about it.
What's new in the security space, Brittan? I mean, I feel like that's a loaded question, but what's top of mind when we talk about anything that's new?
Yeah, absolutely. When we think about the evolution in the security space to like adequately combat
Sure.
the threats that just continue to evolve, we see all sorts of updates coming through. Like we've seen CISA just recently updating their zero trust maturity model just this month, and of course, with all of the AI buzz going around, it's driving a lot of conversations around the safe adoption of advanced technologies and the potential threats of those as well.
So you mentioned zero trust, and I feel like that is such a big buzzword that's been going around Microsoft. We talk a lot about it here at Pax8. Can we just kind of touch on what zero trust is and what that means?
Yes, absolutely. Zero Trust has a guiding set of principles that are verifying explicitly, using least privilege access, and assuming breach. Gone are the times of castle and moat security, and we really have to be responding in real time to assumed breaches in all of our cloud environments.
You know what? It's funny. I see Matt Lee in this chat over here, and I feel like he's just excited that anybody's talking about cybersecurity at all times. So you talk about these principles, but how can partners actually put actions behind these principles, Brittan?
Yeah, that's absolutely a good question. So, how we put it into action is by being proactive, adopting a security framework that puts security in place before it is needed, because too many times these conversations of security are taking place after an incident has occurred. And that's
You
too
got to
late,
get ahead of
too
it.
little too late. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So, and I think it's just so interesting that it, this can just sink a company, right? Any sort of these breaches, they cost so much money. It's data issues. I mean, issues upon issues. So we've got to get ahead of this, right?
And so much of it is preventable by basic security hygiene principles. MFA, of course, top of mind, but yes, being proactive and getting these things in place ahead of time is the number one way that you can improve your security posture.
Excellent. So we talk about securing this and how are we, Pax8's doing this, but what is Microsoft doing to help support partners in the space? Because it's not always on Pax8, it's not always on the partner. So what can Microsoft actually be offering at this time?
Yes, I mean, truly, Microsoft are providing tools that consistently land in the Gartner Magic Quadrants for security, and they are often now including these advanced tools in hero solutions like M365 Business Premium.
You know, I love Business Premium. You know it because it just speaks to my heart and soul. It's funny. I see Shell Phillips in the chat over here. He's like, did someone say framework? Yes, we are talking about security frameworks. So, Brittan, I can't let this go without hitting on it. You talked about Business Premium. What are some of those tools that people are getting that would help with this?
Yes, absolutely. So, for instance, when you're working with Business Premium, you've got Azure AD Plan 1 that's helping you support secure identities. And of course, with features like MFA, which all organizations everywhere should be using, ADP1 is going to be a fantastic addition to help you achieve that within Business Premium. It's got Intune that supports the management of mobile devices, Defender for Office 365 that secures the everyday collaboration tools through features like safe links and safe attachments when working with
Absolutely.
emails. And last but not least, Defender for Business, which is the high powered SMB endpoint security solution. And that is also included in Business Premium now.
So it's included in Business Premium, but let's say that what if they just have maybe Business Basic and it's that lower level SKU? Can they get this as a standalone product?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Defender for Business is also a standalone product, and that standalone product also has some new capabilities. Recently, mobile threat defense is now in preview for the Microsoft Defender for Business standalone, and this integrates into a single and easy to use experience. The solution eliminates complicated device management and reduces the need for solution add-ons, providing a comprehensive mobile threat defense that includes OS level threat and vulnerability management, web protection, and app security for iOS and Android devices, which
So
is
it
so
covers
exciting.
everything. Like, that's incredible. So, I mean, here's the thing is that whether I'm at home, I typically work from home. I mean, this is not my home. I'm going to work on my studio. Rob, I'm going to work on my studio. It's not going to be this cool, but I'm going to try.
I'm proud of you.
So Brittan and I were actually both in Denver this week, and we're going through, and we're talking a lot about business premium. We're talking about all these tools, but Brittan, what I will say is I feel like sometimes these tools get a little bit complicated, right? And as we go through, what if somebody's just not really comfortable saying, hey, you know what, I want to migrate over to business premium. I know we work a lot with the ProServe team. Can you kind of talk about how they can maybe help with some of that, maybe where partners aren't that comfortable?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually even have some incredible pro services offers coming forward to support business premium and making that the most fulfilling security offer that you can take to market. Working with CIS controls, so again, working with a framework to measure the success of how we're utilizing that tool. And by taking it to those benchmarks, we're really able to allow the partners to be very proactive and measurable, including allowing that to scale by working with us on those products. I would like to mention with the mobile threat defense offer, since that is a preview, you do have to turn on those preview capabilities.
Okay, I
So I
like to
wanted to
know
touch
these
on that.
things. How do we turn it
Yeah,
on? It's always got to be
yeah, I
on.
did want to. Yeah, I don't want to tell somebody about something and then they don't know how to get it. So
Okay,
turning
I like
on
it.
preview capabilities allows you to go ahead and use mobile threat defense within that. The process is simple. You want to make sure that your organization has signed up to receive the preview features for your tenant. Then make sure that Defender for Business has finished provisioning within the Defender portal. Of course, if you see a message that says, hang on, we're preparing new spaces for your data and connecting them, then that means Defender for Business is not done provisioning. The process is happening as we speak when you see that message, and it can take up to 24 hours for it to get completed. And from
It's a
there,
good
it's
note. That's a good
reviewing and
note.
editing.
Okay, so we've
I
got
love it.
reviewing. There's a little bit of time to get it all up and going, but there's reporting tools, right?
Yes, and the reporting tools
Okay.
are continuing to get better. So now within Business Premium and Microsoft Defender for Business, you're getting monthly security summaries that are brought in to show threats prevented by Defender for Business, the current status that's being pulled from your Microsoft Secure Score, and recommendations that are designed to help you increase your security in all your key areas. There's another
Goodness.
score that's
There's so
coming
much
through
with
too.
it, and
If you
it's so exciting. No, like Microsoft, I don't think that partners realize how much Microsoft's doing on top of what Pax8's doing. So tell me that last piece too.
Yeah, and I mean that's very true. Especially when we think about suites of solutions like Business Premium, all of those capabilities are incredible and an added value. And it is sometimes a little easy to
Absolutely.
overlook all that's available to you. But Exposure Score is also available with Microsoft 365 Lighthouse. We really used to only see that in Defender Vulnerability Management. So now, if you're using Lighthouse as an MSP to help manage your tenants across the Microsoft space, you can get a high level overview of vulnerabilities right there that show you what devices are at risk for vulnerabilities and active threats. With that, it's going to help reduce exposure and recommend patches to devices, latest updates, and really allows them to continue to stay proactive in their improvement of defense and security.
That's incredible. I mean, just having all of this in a centralized location, being able to go and kind of go through an audit and say, hey, you know what? Let's just go make sure. That double click is so important. So Microsoft's doing a ton. We've gone through like the very high level of that. We'll say that, hey, you know what? ProServe, your account team, all those people are always here to support. But Brittan, I know that us as Pax8, we're layering on additional things on top of that. So what are we doing as Pax8 in addition to this to help our partners be secure?
That's a great question, and that is growing by the day. In addition to things like our security bootcamp, which was so exciting to attend just a couple short weeks ago, Pax8 and Microsoft have partnered together to provide fully funded cloud evaluations for partners that are looking to better understand and secure their customers' environments. The evaluations focus on three core objectives: improving cybersecurity, cloud enablement, and asset management, like reducing redundant solutions to become more cost effective. If you'd like to be onboarded for offering those assessments to your customers, US partners can enroll at aka.ms/Pax8 evaluation. It's a
Easy
quick
enough.
way for you to provide. Yeah, absolutely. We've got our own link there for US
Yeah.
partners. It is also an offer that's available to Canadian partners, and you'll want to activate that by talking to your productivity solution consultant, and we'll continue to keep you updated as we add additional regions to be able to offer this.
Goodness. So let's go through these security assessments a little bit because one, they're free, like free.
Yes. Yeah, they're fully funded, but the value that this provides in the market is, between $2,000 and $4,000, depending on what exactly you're looking through. And it's going to touch on, your cloud enablement section as the very top to really get a high level overview as to what you're using, how it's being used, what's being underutilized. And then it drills right into a full chapter around security. And that's really going to assess endpoints and continue to give you deeper insights as to areas where tools may not be communicating effectively and opening you up to threat.
Goodness. So it's a couple $1,000s in a free tool. So that's why I always ask them, like, is it like free or is it free? Like, do I have to sit through a presentation?
Yeah.
So that's the best part. So they're going to go to this AKA link. You're going to sign up or get with your PSC. Shara,
Right.
I think you better be ready for all these Canadian partners. They're going to be coming.
That's right.
So we're going to onboard the MSP, right? So they're going to have a good idea of what's going on. It's not just going to be like Microsoft talk to people, right?
That's correct. Like if you go through that link, aka.ms/Pax8 evaluation, once you give them your information, you'll be contacted by a person from the Microsoft team that will actually be with you throughout the process, but will certainly allow the partners to guide. That is the whole point of that partnership. But we also wanted to provide some support while you're moving through that. You'll be onboarded on how to use the tool that generates those assessment reports for you. In a call directly with the teams. And then they can also support you in pulling the reports after that, and even can support you in taking it straight to your customer and having the final conversation about what those reports uncovered.
That is awesome. And I know that Enrique was asking for the link. Claire, if you could put the link in the chat for us, that would be perfect. I feel like if I make Brittan say it 10 more times, she might just get up and leave. So I don't want to do that to her. But
I'll keep saying it, but yeah.
She's like, it's an AKA link. It's great. Oh, thanks, guys, for putting that in. So they're going to go through, and I think it's important, and I want to touch on this because I feel like sometimes it gets a little bit iffy when Microsoft Direct starts reaching out, right? So they're going to have their PSC, their account team, whoever that designated contact is, but they're also going to work with Microsoft Direct. But it's a specific team that is kind of safeguarded from my understanding, right, Brittan?
Yeah, absolutely. So realistically, this offer was being offered directly to customers from Microsoft, even in a partner-friendly motion prior to us working with them on partnering with our MSPs. So there is no direct competition, as you're mentioning. This is solely built to strengthen the security posture of those end customers, and wherever the end customers may be working with partners is fully respected by Microsoft in this space, because we all know that Microsoft can't do this alone. When it comes to security and
100%.
obtaining that, it is absolutely a place that the partners belong.
Excellent. So we talked a lot about the security assessments. Enrique, it sounds like you're going to fill that out. I love it. Very excited to see you joining that. Brittan, I want to make sure.
And really huge shout out to the pro services team, like you mentioned, because if you are ready to adopt that zero trust framework and you're really looking for configuration support, pro services can lighten that lift. They're bringing forward comprehensive new offerings that are really taking the guesswork out of utilizing the full capabilities of Business Premium. So I can't speak to it any higher that we're giving you the tools to do it, and we're coming in to support if you feel like you're ready to move forward with the actual tool and not sure how to take those steps.
And I love working with that team. I know that they work so closely with our Microsoft team just because, I mean, can you say that we're more intertwined when I'm like, we got Azure migrations, we got Modern Workplace happening. So, I mean, take advantage of this team. They're phenomenal to work with. Brittan, you're really just piquing my interest. And I just gotta know more because you're talking about AI and Chat GPT. Fun fact is that one of our coworkers here, she got a note from her son's teacher. He was using Chat GPT to plagiarize something. So look, we're talking a lot about AI. No, see, you've got kiddos. This is coming for you, Brittan. So we're talking about AI and what that is bringing to the forefront, right? Is there any ways that we can use AI to support security in a productive way?
Yes, absolutely. I'm sure most people have seen the word CoPilot popping up on their LinkedIn feed for weeks upon weeks. And of course, Microsoft is a leader in this movement of strategic AI integration. So the security CoPilot offer from Microsoft is harnessing the insights from Microsoft Sentinel, Microsoft Defender, and Microsoft Intune to respond to threats faster and more comprehensively. Right now, CoPilot is not something that has a flow through the partner channel. But as these tools continue to grow, we will absolutely be plugging you in on how you can utilize getting plugged into CoPilot and making that work for your partner practice as well.
It's so crazy. I mean, I try to stay on LinkedIn. I mean, I'm not Matt Batterby on LinkedIn. As that guy gets recognized, they're like, the guy from LinkedIn. I'm not there. But I scroll through and all I see is CoPilot this, CoPilot that. So, I mean, I'm so interested to see how this is going to come into the channel. I know that we're really pushing. I know Craig Donovan's super interested too. So he's going to be working on that. I really look forward to seeing how this is all going to start integrating. But it's not just in this one specific instance, Brittan. From my understanding, I mean, we're seeing CoPilot across all these different areas.
That's right. CoPilot's finding its way across many solutions. The M365 CoPilot is integrated into Microsoft 365 in two ways. It works alongside you, embedded in the Microsoft 365 apps that you use every day. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams, all of your traditional collaboration
just everything, right?
Just all the things. And it unlocks that creativity. It allows you to really be ultra productive by shortening the amount of repetitive things that you're doing and providing up leveling to your skills by really taking the simple pieces and making them not so much of a weight on your individual teams to recreate and recreate and recreate. So I think that AI has a really great place that it's growing with Microsoft. There's a D365 CoPilot, which of course with 18 solutions in Dynamics, we know that that's covering quite a few things as well.
I'm like, I started looking through Dynamics and I had to call Matt and I was like, I need you to go through this with me, buddy, because there's 17,000 different tabs here. So so when you look at all of them, because I know you got really excited with both of us and we kind of started going through all the different CoPilots, right? Is there one that you're just like, this is the one that I've got to learn more about that you're just looking forward to diving into?
I think Oh, I'll be nerding out on all of them for sure. But I'm very interested to continue to see Security Copilot as it becomes more adopted. I think that, the Microsoft 365 Copilot will probably be the quickest adopted simply because those collaboration tools really have a reputation that precedes them. And, they're a crowd favorite. And so anything that can help unlock your productivity and really drive that is going to spark people's interest. I'll be staying plugged into all of them as they grow, though.
Excellent. So, and I'm going to do a shameless plug here because we do a Microsoft. Caleb, Enrique in the chat. Look at this. See, it's all coming together over here. I love it. So
making connections.
I know. I'm like, yes, it's happening. So as we go, I just lost my whole train of thought. I got too excited about Caleb in the chat, guys. I don't even know where I was going here. So look, I think that the Copilot, yes, my shameless plug, I'm back. So we do a Microsoft monthly webinar, and all of these people that you see on the show, we have them on regularly. So make sure you're going to Pax8's events page. I'm too excited now because I remembered. So go to the events page. You want to sign up because those are every single month. And things like Copilot, absolutely going to be on there. And if you want to go through, you want to see any of the backlog, you can go to youtube.com/Pax8Cloud, and then all of the recordings are on there. Rob, I got that right, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes, just a solid yes. I got that one right. So all of the previous recordings for the webinars, they're on there as well. So make sure that you can always go back. I think we talked a little bit about the assessments, Brittan, but I know you're going to be making some updates on those monthly webinars regarding Copilot, right?
Yes, absolutely. We'll probably touch on some of these entry-level things about it in our next session in May, but as it continues to grow and develop, we'll certainly be plugging back in with the partner community and letting them know how that affects them and how they can use it to strengthen their business.
Excellent, excellent. And you know what, Brittan? And I feel like I got to ask this. I hope you're ready. Is Microsoft...
I'll try to be.
I know, she's like, okay. Is Microsoft a security vendor?
Oh, absolutely. Microsoft is a leader in security.
100%. I think we've got to leave it at that today because I am so excited to see the continued advancements that Microsoft's making in the security field. I know that we're working on frameworks. We're working on all these amazing things, to build off of what Microsoft's already giving. So Brittan, please come back, continue to share that knowledge with us. I want to say thank you so much for joining
this week. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining Technically Unraveled this week. It has been a blast, and I'm going to try to come back into the studio as much as I can because this place is awesome. So make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing. Want to make sure that you're staying up to date. Make sure that you are checking out the game. And if you didn't check out the Academy team, they just had their show. What a good time. Make sure that you are keeping up with all of the great things that we are doing. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.